please, don't try anything that you're about to see us do at home. Ever.
On this episode of MythBusters,
Lower.
Adam and Jamie attempt to make the Earth move.
Oh my God!
And bring down this bridge when they test and build the mythical pocket-sized earthquake machine. Designed by one of the greatest inventors of all time.
Tesla is an unmitigated genius.
Plus, Grant, Tori, and Carrie investigate the case of the exploding lava lamp. Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage.
Ants are all over my head, man.
And Jamie Heineman.
Gets me all worked up just looking at it.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
That was heavy.
Joining them, Grant Imahara.
Go get him, boy.
Tori Belleci.
Somebody order some exploding pants.
And Carrie Byron.
Oh, God.
They don't just tell the myths. They put them to the test.
You think we should do it? I mean, there are some who believe that the device this small has the potential to bring this entire bridge crashing down.
Yeah, sure, I'll hook it up.
Wait. Give it back. We got to do a little bit of science before we get to the finale of the myth.
And what science it is, because Adam and Jamie will be testing a mythical invention of the 19th century scientific savant, Nikola Tesla. With contributions to fields as diverse as robotics, ballistics, electricity, and magnetism, he's been described as the man who invented the 20th century. But his work has also fed speculation about death rays, mind control, and this harmless-looking handheld earthquake machine.
Tesla's earthquake machine.
I read about this when I was like 19 years old. He claimed that he had built this device to make a mechanical generator of some kind, but that he had bolted it as a test to a girder in his building and tuned it up through the frequencies until he had matched the building's frequency, and when he did, all hell broke loose. The building began to, shake around them. They all ran outside to find pandemonium. They thought there was a big earthquake. The fire department was there, the police department was there, and Tesla had to take a hammer to his device to stop it from doing its damage.
A crackpot genius, handheld earthquake machine, and all hell breaking loose? It's the stuff MythBusters dream about. And after a trip to the patent office to source Tesla's original designs, Adam and Jamie are all over it like white on rice.
I'm totally on the same page as you about this.
With the plans before them, the plan of action is refreshingly simple. Build their very own earthquake machine and see if it works. And after a few hours research, the guys have an understanding of the design's mechanics.
Tesla's earthquake machine is actually based on something he used in a whole bunch of different inventions and patents, and it's what he called the mechanical oscillator generator.
Which, thanks to the graphics department, looks like this. A pocket-sized system of pistons and an air cushion work together, reciprocating a central linear rod. The speed of this vibration can be adjusted or tuned to match the resonant frequency of the target object. And Tesla claimed the resulting positive feedback could be harnessed to destroy anything.
Tesla's device is all about resonance. It reciprocates at the same frequency that the object that it's attached to is capable of responding to, and supposedly the whole thing is like this feedback thing that just gets out of control and the thing flies apart.
To harness the destructive power of resonance, Adam wants to build Tesla's oscillating earthquake machine from scratch. But ever the pragmatist, Jamie has found a shortcut.
Okay, you ready for the oscillation? That's what that is. Tesla's device is actually very simple. All it does is reciprocate. And in fact, there's a very common device that everybody's familiar with called a jackhammer that does nothing more than that.
You're right.
So, by modifying the jackhammer's motor, they'll have an earthquake machine, in line with Tesla's original design.
Hell, let's try it. We could knock this out before lunch.
With the mechanical oscillation taken care of, they simply have to control the frequency of the vibration.
I'm tuning it by adjusting the amount of back pressure on it.
You're changing the frequency.
And next, they replace the chisel from the jackhammer with a small rod. Then they machine the piston parts that will house the air cushion. And with just the air cushion to attach, it's time for a quick test.
You really want to feel? Yeah.
All right, end segment.
This myth is a really recent one, actually. It comes from 2004, where apparently a guy killed himself with a lava lamp.
Actually, I heard this one's true, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out how he did it.
I mean, what was he doing? It's like, was he impatient and he didn't want to wait for the light to heat up the lamp, and then he stuck it on the stove? Or he might have just been like us and he was just experimenting with a lava lamp.
In 2004, a Washington State resident was found dead at home. Cause of death? A large piece of glass shrapnel to the heart after a lava lamp left on a stove exploded. But how on earth did this groovy symbol of the 60s turn lethal killer? If anyone can get to the bottom of this, it's our very own MSI unit. Myth Scene investigators Carrie, Tori, and Grant are on the case.
Okay, well, sounds simple enough. What is the plan?
Well, I'll go get some lava lamps.
I'd like to make a target. I can maybe go get some real human ribs to make a really good torso.
What do you want to do?
I'll do the math.
Math.
While Grant calculates what to do with his day off, Carrie and Tori get down to business. Our super sleuths have a two-stage investigation. First, if a lava lamp is left on a stove, will it explode? And if it does, could the resultant shower of glass and goo lead to a lethal piece of shrapnel to the heart? So to recreate the scene, the first thing they'll need is a rack of ribs.
That is so cool.
And here at the Bone Room, you can satisfy all your skeletal needs.
He actually had to get a shard of glass exploding and going through the rib cage, through whatever connective tissue was here, and then into the heart.
So you're going to actually have to get it through one of the holes and through all that muscle, and depending on how fat the person was, their fat and tissue, and then into the organs.
This is some bad luck.
Bad luck our team will try to recreate back at the shop. And while Carrie gets her ribs to go, Tori has seen the light. Tori, lava lamps?
I just want to check this one out because it's got sparkles and glitter. Ah! They get hot.
The third-degree burns help focus Tori's mind. And before long, he's headed back to the shop with a good selection, where Grant has been looking for some inside info on the prime suspect.
Well, for this myth, I've been trying to find out exactly what's inside of a lava lamp. Well, although the biggest manufacturer of lava lamps in the U.S. keeps their recipe secret, with a little bit of searching we've been able to find out that lava lamps have inside them a lot of things that are potentially flammable. Mineral oils, wax, alcohol.
Meanwhile, Carrie is working on putting some fake flesh on her real ribs.
I know it's not going to be a totally accurate representation of the human body, but the way the lava lamp exploded is a shard of glass went flying through the air and pierced his heart through his rib cage. I just want to see what kind of chance glass has of getting that far into the human body.
To do it, Carrie is casting a ballistics gel bust around the human rib cage. By suspending the ribs in position, she'll have a close structural analog of a human torso.
Trying to figure out exactly where the rib cage is going to end on this dude.
To confirm the story that glass shrapnel from an exploded lava lamp can pierce the heart, Carrie gives Barry the ballistics bust a fake heart, which, if punctured, will leak its fake blood and simulate his death. With his internal organ in place, he's ready to put on some weight. And after a night in the fridge chilling out, Barry's all set for the great lava lamp experiment.
That is beautiful.
God, that came out good.
Adam and Jamie are testing the myth that Nikola Tesla built and successfully tested a pocket-sized earthquake machine. And after studying the patents and original photo of the device, Adam is hanging on Tesla's every word.
I was experimenting with vibrations. I had one of my machines going and I wanted to see if I could get it in tune with the vibration of the building. I put it up notch after notch. Suddenly, all the heavy machinery in the place was flying around. I grabbed a hammer and broke the machine. Outside in the street there was pandemonium. The police and ambulance arrived. We told the police it must have been an earthquake. I told my assistants to say nothing.
To investigate these extravagant claims, Adam and Jamie are building a mover and shaker of their own. Based on Tesla's original patent, they've come up with this.
We're about to fire up Tesla's mechanical oscillator. We promise that if this device works, we will use our powers only for good.
It's like 2 or 3 hertz. We need to increase the speed a little bit.
Adam thinks they haven't nailed the spirit of the design, but Jamie just wants to move on.
It's not working the way it's supposed to because all we've got here is a piston going back and forth. The way it's described, one of the key aspects of it in Tesla's description is the air spring. Is that,
as far as I'm concerned, this is what Tesla described. You have minor variations.
I don't think this is the device. You really have to separate out what your opinion is from the facts of the device. We haven't even come close here in terms of the frequency that it's moving at and that air cushioning thing.
But the problem is, the air cushion that Tesla described as frictionless is causing friction and slowing the device down.
This device isn't working. We could waste a lot of time on making something that works better than this one, but it's still not an efficient way of demonstrating the principle involved.
The great and powerful Jamie Hyneman has spoken.
It's a classic MythBusters standoff. Adam wants due diligence, and Jamie wants efficiency. But like an old married couple, they soon compromise.
I'm going to have another look at this device and see if I can't tune it to get it as close to Tesla's device as I possibly can.
So Jamie gets to replace the air cushion with mechanical springs. And Adam gets the increase in top speed he wanted.
Ooh, nice!
Adam's happy and agrees that the switch to mechanical springs is in line with Tesla's ideas.
He talks about the fact that the work that is being done by the air spring could be done by mechanical springs, and the only reason he prefers the air spring is because it has no inclination to break.
You can feel that over here.
Yeah, no, it's a real deal. The reason we're going with a 2-foot bar is because it's exactly what Tesla said that he busted apart the first time he tried this out. For a long time nothing happened, he said, but at last the great steel link began to tremble and finally broke. Crowbars could not have done it, but a fusillade of taps, none of which would have harmed a baby, did it. That's the kind of response we're looking for.
I am taping an accelerometer to this bar. This is hooked up to a frequency analyzer, which actually should tell me exactly what the resonating frequencies of the bar are, and it should also tell me when I've got it properly excited to the maximum degree.
We're ready to go.
Adam is monitoring the feedback,
All right, I think you can go up.
and Jamie, on regulator duty, is adjusting the frequency of the earthquake machine.
You're at about 32.
At 32 hertz, with the earthquake machine running at top speed, there's no sign of the steel bar resonating.
My inclination would be, let's turn it up on full and leave it for half an hour. See if it actually, does anything to the bar. According to Tesla, it didn't happen instantaneously.
What did happen was a failure of the prototype.
My guess is if I put it back together, it'll run now for a little while.
Jamie resurrects it, but it's not long before it dies again.
This is like my worst nightmare.
And again.
We can't even get a long enough test to prove that it doesn't work. I mean, I guess we have proved that it doesn't work, but not in the way that we intended.
It seems the mechanical springs Tesla said would have an inclination to break are breaking. And after a long and frustrating day, spirits, and quite possibly minds, are following suit. The build team are in MSI mode. Myth scene investigators Carrie, Grant, and Tori are hot on the trail of a lethal lava lamp. Detectives Byron, Imahara, and Balechi are staging a reconstruction to answer two questions. Will a lava lamp explode if left on a stovetop? And if so, will the blast be powerful enough to send a lethal piece of glass into a human heart?
I think most people sit and watch lava lamps like this. Dude. Yeah, that's about the right position.
With Barry the ballistics bust assuming the position, everything and everyone is ready.
Ready? A 3, a 2, a 1.
Run.
Now they just have to wait for things to warm up
Starting to bubble. There it goes.
It's starting to move.
and pass the time making a few predictions.
Underneath that little hat is a metal, like a bottle cap. I think that's going to blow off first before the glass ruptures.
I have a feeling this is going to work. You got a high pressure situation inside the bottle. There's nowhere for that pressure to go except out. It's going to turn that bottle into a bomb. Well, it didn't explode, but you were right. The top popped off and the bottom blew out.
I call that an explosion.
Explosion or not, it looked pretty dangerous. There was hot oil and wax erupting in a volcanic geyser. But no glass shrapnel in Barry the ballistic bust.
Yeah, he's clean.
Let's clear out till the smoke finishes.
We didn't get any shards of glass in the bust. What happened was the cap gave way, released all the pressure, released all the liquid inside. And as soon as the liquid was gone, the heat from the stove actually shattered the bottom of the bottle. So we didn't get that explosion that the myth's talking about.
No explosion means there are still plenty of loose ends in this story. But what is clear are the two reasons why you shouldn't put a lava lamp on a stove. The first is written into the safety instructions.
Do not use any other means to heat up the lamp other than the bulb provided.
And the second is this. Jamie and Adam are tackling Tesla, and his incredible earthquake machine. With 2 failed prototypes, confidence in the myth is low, so it's time for Plan B.
My opinion is if we're going to do this right, we have to come up with a way of visualizing, demonstrating visually what we're talking about when we're talking about resonance and resonant frequencies.
Well, resonance can be kind of tricky. Why don't we start with water? You know, create a wave action that we can see.
So the plan is to build a wave tank, rig a quick and dirty reciprocating device, tune it in, and create a mini tsunami.
Dude, that is so trippy. What I love about this test is it really illustrates Tesla's theoretical ideas perfectly. When you push a kid on a swing, each of your pushes doesn't make him go all the way up. It's the sum total of them. You're adding energy each time. Dude, look at that. You hit a sweet spot again. Look at that's twice the sweet spot that you were hitting before.
And that was a minute variation in speed.
That is so cool.
Like that was a difference on this meter from 1.5 to 1.6, and at 1.5 it was almost a flat calm.
Right.
At 1.6 it's starting to almost bounce out of the chamber.
Re-energized with all things Tesla, Adam and Jamie decide it's time to get back to the earthquake machine.
Our first air-powered jackhammer did not work. We just modified it so much that it began failing in ways we can't fix. We looked at getting another one, and Jamie has an air-powered auto tool for hammering.
Hold it down. That's pretty fast.
This is 10 times better than that.
It's so close to Tesla's design, the only modification required is a steel plate so it can be attached to the target object.
This is actually Jamie's personal massager. He's all like, honey, I feel really sore. Would you work on me for a bit? And his wife's like, and he's like, oh, that's right, yeah. Oh, lower, oh, yeah. That's how he has such big shoulders. Accelerometer's in, the device is clamped in. I'm ready to go.
They take it through the air hammer's full range of frequencies. But with no sign, the steel bar is resonating.
I'm measuring the frequency that our device is applying to the bar, and it's right about 50, 52 hertz.
But Tesla said that it was a while before destruction ensued. And if it's good enough for Tesla,
well, the lowest natural frequency of the bar is in the hundreds, like 400 or 500. We're not going to get that with any device we got here. I'm looking forward to trying this on some other types of steel.
cue the steel bar alternatives.
Scoobity wah wah wah.
First, a 2-foot section of 2-inch square tubing. And this time, they get a little action.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's the highest amplitude on that primary 20 hertz hit. And you can see it shaking around more than any other time. So we're starting to see potentially the kind of excitement that's possible. It's just we need to get a bar that's tuned to this device and this device tuned to that bar. It's low frequency. Then we should see some real vibration.
And the best chance they have to do that is test a bar with a lower resonant frequency. Like this 20-footer, which has a harmonic as low as 7 hertz. But after hours of tweaking the system, there's no sign of any action. And in Jamie's mind, this myth has already been consigned to the busted bin.
Currently, my impression is that this idea of putting this little tiny thing on some massive structure and by tuning it just so, getting the whole thing to resonate, you're not going to have like, you know, a flea jumping up and down on a girder, and if he does it at the right frequency over and over again, then all of a sudden magically the whole structure goes down. I mean, that's what Tesla's talking about with this this principle of, you know, this magical resonance that he's creating. Shall we pull it off?
Yes.
So far, MSI San Francisco have yet to break the case of the lethal lava lamp. Barry the ballistic bus took a burning hot shower, but without an explosion, he's free of any deadly shrapnel wounds. So far.
All right, so this is test number 2. We're going with the lava lamp with the bottle cap top instead of the safety cap. This kind of bottle cap will hopefully be stronger and will hold that pressure inside, allowing it to explode. And that's what we're looking for here in this myth.
But 10 minutes in, and it looks like
Oh, I hear something. I can see it leaking.
Tori's theory has a few holes in it. But despite the leak, the cap holds, and the pressure continues to build.
Sweet.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Fire!
And the escaping flammable lava makes things even more interesting.
Oh, that is looking a little out of control. Oh, wow.
Yeah! Look at that, it's just extinguishing itself right now.
Okay, that was an explosion.
Was awesome! Yeah!
With the explosive potential of the lava lamp confirmed, our team of forensic investigators check out the scene and, more importantly, Barry.
The bottle has completely disintegrated.
Here's a small shard of glass.
I mean,
How deep was it?
It was just surface.
Based on what I've just seen, I absolutely believe that this could be lethal. I mean, the amount of energy that we got out of one of these bottles with no modifications whatsoever, this is right off the shelf, that's a lot of energy. And I think that that could definitely blow a piece of glass right into your heart.
So our next scenario that we're going to try is the experimental one. We're going to try to get that cap so it's solid on top of the bottle and see if we can't get more of a compression and explosion and maybe get a fracture from this bottle that would have created the shards that killed him.
To improve the bomb-like qualities of the lamp, Tori seals the cap, but not very well.
That's it. Epoxy gave up.
Darn it.
With the lava lamp contents escaping, they decide to stage an intervention. A squirt of cold water from a spray gun should help things along.
The theory was the shock of the cold water would cause the glass to fracture.
The look on your face was priceless. All right, let's go see how he survived or not. Whoa!
Now that
Don't
is
touch
a
it, don't touch
result.
it, don't touch it.
That's crazy.
That is a result. You know, I think eventually, given the number of bottles that we had, we probably would be able to get a result like this without having secured the bottle cap on there. It seems to me that it's just luck of the draw. Every time we had a lot of energy behind the explosion. I think it's just a matter of time before we get one that's mortal.
All right, so exploding lava lamp. What's the verdict?
I think we have it confirmed.
Yeah, we show that there's enough energy in a lava lamp being heated up on the stove to throw a shard of glass at lethal velocity into the body.
And I think my scenario as to why the stove was on low and why he was leaning over it when it exploded is actually really plausible.
So MSI San Francisco have confirmed the details of this tragic story. And if this isn't a warning to always read the safety instructions, nothing is. But the kitchen pyrotechnics ain't over yet.
You know what? I don't think we can stop right here. One, we haven't had enough explosions. Two, there are a lot of products that people might be tempted to heat up on a stovetop, like a can of beans.
I could go with that. What about, like potted meat? That's in a can.
There you go.
baby formula.
I mean, there's a lot of things we can keep testing.
You know, as a public service to our viewers.
Exactly.
Jamie and Adam have been testing Tesla's earthquake machine for days, and the Richter scale is showing a big fat 0. There have been a few good vibrations, but certainly nothing like the results Tesla boasted about in his twilight years. After a lifelong feud with Edison and in deep financial trouble, the Serbian-born inventor made some outrageous claims. He was still producing great work, such as the first principles for radar, but he also suggested he could build a death ray capable of destroying 10,000 enemy airplanes. And of course, he famously claimed that with a few well-timed explosions, he could split the Earth in two, like an apple. But Tesla's claims and the results so far are a world apart.
So we're a little bit stuck because the designs that Tesla drew out don't seem to really work too well. I mean, we might eventually get there, but I understand Grant has a device that might speed things up a little bit.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. Okay.
That's it, Jamie. That's what we wanted to build.
It's an electromagnetic linear motor, and Tesla will be smiling in his grave.
This is precisely what Tesla's describing in his patent. I mean, he says he doesn't care exactly how you achieve that movement, but that it's frictionless. You could potentially do it with a magnetic coil, even though he suggested air cushion. I mean, this is it.
This is it.
Amazingly, Grant turns out to have in his possession for an outside consulting gig exactly the motor that we need. It's driven by magnets, which Tesla posited was possible and a reasonable way to do this machine. I cannot wait to get going on it.
Grant's actuator is so perfect that with a simple clamp to the 20-foot bar, it's ready to go.
Now we're getting something here.
Yeah, it's starting to rock.
With a computer-controlled accuracy of 1/100th of a hertz, something Tesla could only dream of,
We got something.
they're having much more success fine-tuning Grant's almost frictionless motor to the steel bar's natural frequency.
Holy criminy. Dude!
My box, let's stop it.
Okay, stop it.
Stop it.
It's about tuning the amount of vibrations per second precisely to what the bar needs. It's that every time the bar flexes, when it comes back up, that you're hitting it, boom, right at the top of that arc. And again, it goes back down, it comes back up, and bang, you're hitting it right at the top of that arc. That timing is absolutely critical to this. And we saw that once you get that timing right and you eliminate the ability of the bar to move and bounce and lose its energy, the deflection was just diabolical. I can't, with all my weight standing in the middle of this, deflect it as much as it was being deflected by this actuator, which only weighs, what, like 5 pounds?
Well, we got some results from our first test, but we didn't get anything like what Tesla described as far as this atom-by-atom destruction.
And he said one thing he did was bolted to an iron bar, and the other thing he did was bolted to his building. And maybe we're going to get a lot more response out of this device if we bolt it to a scale model of Tesla's actual lab. Let's build a scale version of 48 East Houston Street, where his lab was, and try the device out on that.
So, scale testing it is. And a quick research break ensures they have accurate mini blueprints, not just for size, but also structural integrity and material strength. Then, with judicious use of the fast forward button, Adam and Jamie have a replica of Tesla's lab built in no time at all.
We have our 1/6 scale version of Tesla's building. Now we have to have a 1/6 scale of Tesla's resonator.
This microcassette recorder fits the bill perfectly. And once it's attached to one of the scaled-down steel beams, they're ready to go.
We should match the oscillation of your device to the sound of this thing rocking back and forth, then we'll get really close to the resonant frequency, okay? That's pretty darn good. All right, then I think we should just let it sit for a while. Tesla said nothing happened at first.
But despite Adam's confidence in the test parameters, the Earth and Mini Jamie are unmoved.
Let's give Grant a call.
Yeah, we need to go bigger. Of course, if we use Grant's device, scale is going out the window. This isn't even remotely what you would consider pocket-sized in scale in something like a car.
But even with the scale equivalent of an oscillating car and hours of tuning and tweaking, there's no evidence of destruction. So the myth is on extremely shaky ground. But desperate to give Tesla his due, Adam has one last test up his sleeve.
I think that as the final piece de resistance of this myth, we take your linear actuator out to a big steel structure like a bridge. We try it on that. Then we can call this one busted.
You get me the bridge, I'll be there.
So this is the classic story of somebody who has a tin of beans. He doesn't have a bowl, so he's going to decides he's going to heat it up straight on the stove. Forgets to open up the lid. The pressure builds, and it explodes.
I think you're right, dude.
Beans.
Not as exciting as the lava lamp, this can of beans.
But where there's heat, beans, and pressure, there's always an explosion.
Oh, dang it! That was disgusting.
Disgusting, but I bet you want to see it again.
Oh, this is so gross! Look at that! Oh my god, it's in the shape of the ground! That was awesome!
So the pop top popped, and there was a stinky eruption. But it wasn't exactly lethal. Next.
Okay, so this time we're going to use a bigger can of beans. It's the kind of can that you actually need a can opener to get into the beans. So it doesn't have the pop top with the little tab. So hopefully it's going to take a lot more pressure to make this explode.
The heat's on, so all they've got to do is sit tight, wait for the boom, and avoid getting arrested by the pun police.
Bean there. Yeah, Grant likes being safe.
This has been the funniest day.
Half an hour into the experiment, and the bean can is yet to blow. The MythBusters, well, they're still monkeying around.
Oh my god!
I can taste beans in the air.
Yeah.
Now you see it? Now you don't. Next, it's a pop gun of potted meat.
Oh! You were right! Look at that! It's in a block!
And it's cooked. Let's eat.
What do we got next?
Well, the list says a mortar of milk.
It doesn't look too aggressive. It looks like it's just slowly leaking out. Oh! Nice.
It was a milk rocket!
That was great.
Oh, look, and there's a huge shard of glass going right into the ribs.
Oh, gross.
Which leaves just one item on the team's to blow up list. The mother of all lava lamps, Big Bertha.
So quiet. A little too quiet.
It was almost in slow motion.
Wow, those are giant pieces.
Oh my god, that was so cool.
Wow.
The pieces that came off that were definitely like spears. They were huge. All right, let's wrap up our day with results. What do we get for the lava lamp?
Lethal. Lots of energy, lots of shrapnel.
Can of beans.
Well, depending on the size of the tin that you're using, I would say it's definitely lethal, especially to you, possibly your neighbors.
Okay. How about the can of potted meat?
Probably not lethal, but very messy.
And finally, the milk in the jar.
The milk in the jar, I guess the only way it could kill you is if you had your head and you were looking directly down at it. It could be lethal.
Okay, so I guess we've learned something here today. Don't put anything on the stove unless you have a pressure release.
Tesla's earthquake machine has proved to be a test of Jamie and Adam's patience and working relationship. But Adam has insisted they try one last experiment.
You get me the bridge, I'll be there.
And what a bridge!
We're on the Carquinez Bridge. Now, this is obviously a huge steel structure. This was built circa 1927. So, as far as a resonant steel structure, this is it. It's quite the structure.
It is.
It is an awesome structure. But when Adam said,
We promise that if this device works, we will use our powers only for good.
he was lying. It's time to use Tesla's device to bring the bridge down.
This is intense. Woo.
So all they need to do is find a good spot to attach their earthquake machine, turn it on, and tune it in.
There she goes.
There it is.
The oscillating machine is oscillating.
Increase the amplitude.
And now to tune it to the resonant frequency of the bridge. If they can do that, this giant steel structure will be a pile of rubble in no time at all.
Oh my God! No, I'm just kidding.
Keen-eyed observers will note the guys are actually standing on the bridge they're trying to destroy. Confidence in Tesla's machine isn't exactly sky high.
Now, neither Jamie nor I gives a high percentage to anything occurring out here. Nonetheless, I mean, MythBusters is nothing if not a compendium of ways in which Jamie and I have been wrong. Jamie, come here. Feel this. Come here. I feel a vibration that is oscillating here.
I'm going to freeze it and see whether it stops.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
And
Totally stops here. That's freaky.
All of a sudden, this myth is giving Adam and Jamie a good vibe. And it's not the traffic, because that's on a completely separate bridge.
It totally feels like the whole structure is ringing to that hertz. Hold on, I'm going to go down the ways and see if I can feel it over here. I can totally feel it over here. Wait. I can totally, yep, there it goes.
But the best is yet to come. After some more tuning, they find a sweet spot.
hold the phone. Oh my God. It feels like a big semi-trailer truck is rolling right by us right now.
And that's only 6 pounds of weight moving 25 times per second.
It actually makes me a little concerned, believe it or not.
I'm totally startled to come out here and find this thing vibrating at the correct frequency to be felt hundreds of feet away from the source. That is totally amazing. Did not expect that.
We were ramping the same weight and the same kind of amplitude of vibration through the whole range of frequencies. And, you know, there's a little vibration, but then I hit that one spot, and all of a sudden it's like, hold on, you know, this is different. Something different was going on with that exact frequency. And, as a result of that specific frequency, that specific tone that we're getting, this entire bridge is vibrating. Yeah, you can see it. That's over 100 feet away.
Dude, that's 6 pounds.
I know.
I'm a little spooked.
It's official. We have 2 spooked MythBusters and some unexpected results on our hands.
This vibration from this device is traveling significant distances in this structure. But it ain't no earthquake. We've had it running for, I think, somewhere near an hour at this point. And it's not doing anything but just making the vibrations. The vibrations aren't building. We've tuned it up and down to find a really resonance frequency. I think we've hit a real butter zone here, and still this bridge is standing. Do you know that some people think that Tesla was sent back in time from the future to give primitive man the gift of electricity, and that he was an inspiration for Mark Twain's story of Connecticut yanking King Arthur's court?
Well, he was definitely ahead of his time, and he was onto something with this resonance thing. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think we both know where this is going.
Yeah,
It ain't no earthquake.
it's no earthquake. It's totally busted.
Let's go home.
All right. Hey, what do you think if we put a couple 100 pounds on that sucker?